Hi, I'm Rich, and this is Rich Mid Gaming. In this video, the second in our Heroes of Middle-earth series, we're going to be taking a look at the hero Beravor from FFG's Journeys in Middle-earth. Once again, we will be assessing their damage, survivability, movement, unique cards, special ability, and then how well she's represented in the game. As a ranger of the north, Beravor knows the hidden roads of Middle-earth, through barren hills, tangled wood, and unquieted ruins. These secret paths are her frequent course, gifting both safety and speed through otherwise perilous lands. Nothing can cause this ranger to stray but the call for aid from the imperiled, whether ally or stranger, and no matter the cause, no matter the danger, she's ready for the fight. In a time when the dark expanse between the lands of the free peoples is ever growing, the swiftness, knowledge and valour of Beravor are coveted qualities that many will soon require. So let's start by taking a quick look at Beravor's character card. As we can see, it's 3s across the board with the exception of wit at 2. Beravor is a very rounded hero that doesn't really excel in any one stat. She has 5 points of both fear and damage, with her maximum inspiration at any one time being 4. She has the special ability of being able to scout 1 after she performs certain keywords. Now let's take a look at what the potential damage output of Beravor is. Weapon selection with Beravor is a little bit more open due to her stats, with the exception of a dagger which uses wit, but only being able to draw a maximum of 3 cards, irrespective of which weapon she chooses, does hinder her somewhat. The game recommends a starting weapon of the staff, and I tend to lean towards this due to the stun keyword, ensuring that enemies cannot retaliate if I get 2 successes. Whilst weapon upgrades are available for Beravor, and some of her Pathfinder cards do add additional hits, they do not become available until the 2nd or even 3rd mission, and still add very, very little in the way of raw damage. Due to the lack of cards that she can draw, the limited number of cards that have additional hits, and just the overall lack of raw damage, I'm scoring Beravor 2 out of 5. Secondly then, it's on to survivability. With 5s for fear and damage across the board, plus an extra 1 point of fear from Travel Garb, Beravor is off to a pretty strong start. Her starting card, Into Hiding, gives her some survivability not only for herself, but other players around her as well. Other cards such as Gift of Men, allowing Beravor to discard 1 fear card, increases her ability to withstand longer encounters. For survivability, I'm scoring Beravor 4 out of 5. Movement is a huge part of Beravor's game. Her playstyle and unique cards allow her to be the perfect Pathfinder, with the sprint keyword being found on 5 of Beravor's starting character and Pathfinder cards. Couple this with the Paths Unseen ability, allowing Beravor to move any other hero without provoking attacks. She excels at manoeuvring not just herself, but her party around the map. If you're looking for a hero who can not only move themselves, but drag other people around the map, uncover hidden tiles, find new objectives, then Beravor is your champion. She gets a 5 out of 5 for movement. Now let's take a look at Beravor's unique cards. They are Into Hiding, Ways of Old, which we get 2 copies of, Fateless and Gift of Men. My favourite card here is Into Hiding, allowing for some really nice turn 1 plays by making every member of your party hidden from the start. Ways of Old comes in a close second due to the number of options it gives you, whether you need that final success to interact with a token, or sprint to eke out that 1 last movement speed. Overall, however, I do find Beravor's unique cards a little lackluster. into hiding aside, they don't add a huge amount to her arsenal and don't really flesh out her character too much. And as such, I only give her 3 out of 5. This brings us to Beravor's special ability. Once per round, after we have used either the keyword sprint, hide or strike, we may scout 1. Now, whilst on the surface this seems like a fairly good ability, especially when we look into the deck and see how many sprint cards Beravor has in there, it feels lackluster compared to the other heroes and the abilities they have. For me, it feels like it needs something else. It doesn't really add any depth to her character, and I would have much preferred to have dropped the hide and strike keywords and then had it a sprint and we could use it as many times in one turn as we want. But maybe that would have been too much. Because it's a little bit lackluster, because it has no depth to her character, I'm scoring Beravor 2 out of 5 for her special ability. Lastly then is how well represented Beravor is in the game. Now with Legolas, you can find a link to that video here. We talked about how he was really well represented. It felt like it was the Legolas from the movies, from the books. Well, with Beravor, it's a little bit harder, as she's not a character that was created by Tolkien. She was created by FFG, I think, for one of the other Lord of the Rings games that they run, and released in Journeys of Middle-earth. So it's pretty much impossible to compare her to some of the other heroes in the box that are from that Tolkien world. That being said, she does feel like a Ranger of the North. If I didn't know any better, I would have guessed she was an original character, which is good. My issue is, however, that she isn't. There is a plethora of original female characters that could have been used instead of Beravor. And because it isn't a character I already know or love, or one that I can go and read up more lore on, I'm scoring Beravor 2 out of 5 for representation. So let's recap those points scored by Beravor. She scored 2 out of 5 for damage, 4 out of 5 for survivability, 5 out of 5 for movement, 3 out of 5 for her unique cards, 2 out of 5 for her special ability, and 2 out of 5 for representation, giving Beravor an overall total score of 18 out of 30. With all of the scoring finalised, it's just time to leave you my final thoughts on Beravor. As we discussed, she plays the role of Pathfinder extremely well. A character that has huge movement capabilities, is able to storm up the various maps, uncover tiles, find objective tokens, and then, as and when needed, bring in those other heroes up the map using her abilities. She has very rounded stats, 3s pretty much across the board, meaning that most starting weapons are a viable choice for her, giving her a little bit more flexibility in playstyle than some of the other heroes. But for me personally, she really falls down due to not being an original character. Again, with the number of characters that Tolkien created, especially as, you know, we're not too concerned with timelines in Middle-earth, they're a little bit blurred. I think the developers missed a trick to not use an established character already in the universe. Somebody like Éowyn, for example, they could have looked at Galadriel, or even Lobelia Sackville Baggins, who in the book, when the Shire was overrun and taken over by Saruman and the ruffians, she stood up to them, fought against them, and got herself locked up.
That'd been productive. Yeah. Sackville Bagginses! Quickly hide! Oh. Thank you, my boy.
Maybe not with that one. However, if we ignore this, Beravor is a really good addition to any party in Journeys in Middle-earth. Having played her with both Legolas and Bilbo in solo campaigns, her ability to move other players around the map adds a very unique dynamic to your setup and brings some great gameplay to boot. Well, what do you all think? Would you have scored her higher than me? Lower? Do you agree that FFG should have delved into the works of Tolkien rather than creating a new character? Let me know down in the comments section below. And if you've made it this far, why not check out some of our other videos, drop this one a like, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of our other content. For now, I'm Rich from Richmond Gaming. Stay safe, keep well, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.